The youth are the trustees of posterity. These are the words of Benjamin Disraeli. Yesterday, the world marked International Youth Day, a day that calls attention to the role, potential, and challenges of young people in shaping society. But beyond the celebration, one question remains: what kind of leaders are we preparing young Nigerians to become? And are our institutions doing enough to prepare them for the responsibility of tomorrow? Today on Politics Explained, we examine a very interesting topic: International Youth Day 2026, Youth and the Future of Nigeria. Are we building the leaders that we need? My name is Oluwayemi Adelako, and my guest is Right Honorable Marvelous Oyekola, a Speaker at Third Assembly of your State Youth Parliament. Honorable Speaker, welcome aboard.
Good afternoon, man.
Good afternoon.
It's so nice to be here, man.
Right, we are happy to have you as well. So let's start with the celebration that happened yesterday. I think I'm interested in that theme. I'll read it out for the sake of the audience. It says different contexts, common aspirations. What inspired that theme?
Well, thank you for that question. I believe we all come from different backgrounds, different beliefs, but aspiring for a common goal, to be a better person. Because yesterday, we celebrated the World International Youth Day, and the Oyo State Youth Parliament, we were able to visit some secondary schools in Oyo State to mark the World International Day with some students, and just to make them understand that you coming from different background doesn't stop you from achieving the goal you set for yourself. Because you living in Ibadan doesn't stop you from achieving the same goal with someone living in Lagos.
Right, I think that is very spot on. And so let's talk about the celebration yesterday. Can you walk us through how the event went? I mean, from the preparation, the ideation, to realizing the actual event yesterday.
Okay, thank you very much. Because we believe we youth are not just leaders of tomorrow, like they used to say. Because without preparation for tomorrow, tomorrow is nothing. Because the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, fine. But we need to prepare ourselves for the tasks ahead of tomorrow. So we go into secondary schools yesterday, like the Oyo State Parliament did, led by me, myself, and my other honorable members. We were able to sensitize the students on how to be a better person, a good ambassador of Oyo State, and a good ambassador of themselves. Because, like they used to say, we can't do things where we are not given the chance to do it. Because we've always heard, like I used to read the names of some politicians, leaders, way since when I was small and up to now, we still heard their names in system. So we youth, we need to wake up to the clear call, like we used to say, and take up the tasks that we are ready to take up the tasks, man.
All right, as a nation, do you think we celebrate the youth enough?
What? Okay, I think in Nigeria we do, but Oyo State in particular, under the administration of His Excellency Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun-Makinde, he sees the youth as a partner in his administration. Because during the first tenure in 2019, we have someone of 27 years who become the Commissioner of Youth and Sport. So this gives room for the youth to be motivated that, we are recognized in Oyo State. And Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun-Makinde, which gives us the same platform where I am the speaker today, I think he's giving the youth a very good platform in Oyo State.
Great. All right, let's talk about the Third Assembly, because I believe that for that assembly to be created, it means it wants to solve certain problems. So what problems were obvious to the government, or let me say to this administration, that necessitated the establishment of the Third Assembly? Okay,
fine. Because you can't solve the problem of the youth if you are not a youth. Well, Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun-Makinde, the governor of the Oyo State, has a vision. And the chairman of Oyo State Youth Agency, Prince Adebowale Falana, builds on the vision of the governor by working towards ensuring the youth in Oyo State are well equipped, well disciplined, and motivated, that they are not left behind in this administration. The creation of the Third Assembly, which was inaugurated in the past 2 months ago, which I emerge as the speaker, we see ourselves that, oh, we know how it feels to be a youth, and we know how to solve the problem, because we are not just the youth, we are problem solvers. Just because the elected members of the House of Assembly, we are mirroring after them, because we are the youth and we know how it feels, what the youth are going through in the society. So we'll be able to like relate with them and make resolutions which we tender to the House of Assembly to be passed into bill.
Like a replica?
Yes, a replica.
Okay,
yes.
I understand that the third assembly is still new, but
yes.
have you been able to do something? Have you sat at all after the inauguration?
Yes, we did. We had our first sitting, which is the inauguration. We did our first sitting then, and of course we did the second sitting in New York, because we want to like carry the cities to the 5 geopolitical zones in Oyo State to make the youth in each zone feel that we are bringing the government to them, for them to know that they have a representative in the government which serves their interest. We did our sitting in Oyo, in Mayala, in the University of Education, where we were able to pass a resolution on digital training center in Oyo State.
Okay, can you walk me through your plan? You're the speaker, and I know that you have a lot to do for this administration. What plans do you have? Just like you mentioned, you are trying to establish or maybe build people that can represent the state or even the nation at the federal level at the end of the day. So you must have plans, for these people that you're leading. What plans do you have for them that will make sure that, they are capable, if at all they get the opportunity to serve the people?
Okay, well, I believe leadership is not just a title. It's a call to serve. Because you being a leader doesn't mean you have the authority to rule and control people the way you feel like. Because prior to my nomination as the speaker, I'm an honorary member too. So me emerging as the speaker, I must wake up to the task that this administration must be different. The youth in Oyo State must have the experience that they have their people in government, which works for them. Well, the third assembly, we are going to make sure that all stones are being touched, the pain of the youth in Oyo State, while the governor of Engineer Oluseyi Makinde has really tried enough for the youth in Oyo State, and which we want to say a very big thank you to the governor of Oyo State.
All right, still talking about your plans for the people, I also want to talk about leadership skills in terms of managing people. Because people say when people gather, it's possible not to have disagreement. I don't agree with that. People can disagree to agree. So how do you intend to manage people? Because people will have different opinions when it comes to what you want to push, to the state level. Do you understand me now?
Well, like I said, prior to our inauguration, we all have our different professions. Like I am a graduate of applied geophysics, where I worked as a geotechnical analyst and a site supervisor. So the leadership skills has been instilled in me because I manage sites, different people, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, where I realized that if you want to lead certain people, you need to come down to their level. You need to dialogue together, bring ideas together. Like you said, we need to bring ideas together, because like you said, it's necessary for us to have a conflict, but without having to go to the extreme end, because disagreement is where we have a common say that we need to put things together. Okay,
has there been any disagreement of any sort since you assumed your position?
Well, for now, we've been able to manage all situations, and we are working hand in hand together to ensure that this third assembly delivered the best of us, man.
All right, great. Still talking about the third assembly, because I still have all the questions outside of this. I also want to ask you one question. How long is this tenure for? The third assembly.
The Youth Parliament, it was inaugurated by the United Nations, and the Youth Parliament tenure runs for 2 years.
Okay.
So, which means the Oyo State Parliament too, we run on a 2-year tenure.
All right, great. Now let's cross to politics now, especially to our topic that says, are we building the leaders that we need? And then my first question is this. I've discussed with certain young people and they tell me the reason why they are not interested in politics or in governance is because they believe politicians just want to use them, for campaign mobilization and not give them opportunity to serve, in several capacities. Do you agree with that or you have a counter opinion?
Well, for your state, I would say it's a counter opinion. Because the governor, Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde, carries with the youth along in his administration. Yes. Because, like I said earlier, during the first tenure, His Excellency Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde appointed a 27-year-old to be the commissioner of youth and sport, which has never happened before in the history of Oyo State. So this gives the youth in Oyo State the motivation, the trigger to, the youth are not being left out in Oyo State.
All right, still talking about politics now. Let's ask these other questions. Why do you think that a lot of youth would rather stay at home on election day than come out to vote? I'll still cross back to leadership position, but let's talk about political party now. On election day, I've observed, for many years now, people rather play ball. Some persons rather play ball, and they are so young. And then at the end of 4 years, or maybe before the end of 4 years, they come back to complain. But they rather do other things on the day of election. And they'll tell you they already know who's going to win the election. And that's why they're not interested in voting.
Okay, well, thank you very much. During our inauguration, we had the presence of one of the contestants to be the governor of Oyo State. A candidate of the party.
Okay.
So the hashtag then was it's youth o'clock. Because we youth, we are ready to take our space. Because they've always called us to be part of the system, but when it's time to make the real decision, the youth have been left out. So in Oyo State, it is now youth o'clock. And we are working towards delivering that.
How practical is that? Because most young people, especially in Oyo State, they don't believe that. They are not encouraged.
Well, I think we have a changed mindset now for the youth in Oyo State, that we youth are taking over. Because we can't complain about bad government when we are not being involved practically in the system. So we can't complain about the bad leadership we have if we are not involved in the government.
How do we encourage more people, to become invested in politics, in governance? Beyond a lot of persons, while I was in school, a lot of persons were interested in, contesting for SUDDs, departmental Ds. Then when they come out of school, they lose all the interest. So how do we encourage more people?
Well, I think that was because the leaders we've always known, right from the way back, are still trying to get back into power. So we urge the youth in Nigeria to take up their responsibility, to wake up to the task. Because without we being involved, we can't change the narrative. The older generations are still going to rule us. And we used to believe we are the leaders of tomorrow. Without us taking the actions now, we are still going to be the leaders of tomorrow, even till infinity.
How did you build your interest before you got to this position? Okay. When did it start? At what point did you realize that you want to do this?
Well, I think during the first administration of the past president then, President Muhammadu Buhari.
Okay.
On Wednesdays and Thursdays, I used to sit down in front of the TV and watch the plenary section, and which motivates me to be, I'm aspiring to be here one day. So this gave me the motivation to be my best behavior, because during our screening, then we had about almost 1,000 applicants for the youth parliament, whereby we were screened to 182 before we have the physical screening. So during the physical screening, it's comprised of the panelists. We have the officers of the DSS, EFCC, NDLA, the police, and even the correctional service. So that if you have any criminal record or you are involved in any drugs or any social offences, you'll be single-handedly mentioned out there So I think then I was able to like maintain my good behavior. I am up and doing, and to God be the glory. Today I am where I am today.
Okay, good behavior, good character is very important. Okay, let's talk about self-development, because I believe that beyond your degree, beyond the good behavior, self-development is also very important. Positioning, actually. So how did you position yourself?
Well, you can't, if you believe the sky is not the limit, then you have to like aim high above the limit. You shouldn't limit yourself to your immediate environment. You should always think above, think higher. Have a different mindset that, oh, the sky is not the limit. Of which, if you believe the sky is not the limit, you can achieve anything. The most important thing is we need to like change our orientation, our mindset, to always aim high and believe we can always achieve anything.
It's good to aim high, but in a country like Nigeria, when they wake up in the morning, they are thinking about electricity, they're thinking about food, they're thinking about what to wear a lot, they're thinking about data, and then, so how can they deal with that and still have like a positive mindset? Because it's very important. It's good to have a good mindset, but in an environment where you have to think about electricity, food, a lot of persons are struggling with creativity, and they are young people.
Well, I think that's why we youth need to change our narratives that, oh, it's just the older generation running the system. We need to get ourselves involved in the system. If we want to change, we need to like get involved.
Okay, how easy is it for anybody to contest any position in Nigeria today? I don't want to limit you to your state, because I believe that you speak for the Nigerian youth. So that's why sometimes I'll direct my question, in that light. So how possible is it for any young person to win an election in Nigeria today?
Well, from what you said, I think during the President Muhammadu Buhari, the past president, he signed the Not to Rule bill, which gives rooms for youth to contest. Then, and in Oyo State, then, sorry if I'm going to Oyo State, we have a 25-year-old lawmaker, Honorable Adebisi Yusuf. He contested for the post of the House of Assembly and he won at the age of 25. So these also give the rooms for youth that, oh.
Was he popular? Before he won that election, was he popular?
And yes, he was and he wasn't, but the youth was able to like vote him that, oh, we have our age mate here, he's one of us and we should go for him. Of which they did and he emerged the winner.
Okay, in your state today, is it possible for somebody who is under 40 to win the governorship election? Be realistic.
Well, it's possible. Because in Nigeria, the population estimate was is around 242 million, of which the youth occupy 75%. So if the youth wake up to the call, we will be able to do that. Because I think one of the candidates is a youth.
I think we have the numbers, but let's talk about the money aspect now. Because, I mean, people will tell you it takes a lot of money to win an election. Even primaries, forget about the election itself. Even primaries, it takes a lot of money to win it. So for a youth, or let me say a young person, how can the person go about it?
We are voting our conscience, and we are voting for our own.
But the youth are always very interested in the 5,000 or 10,000 naira. 5,000 or 10,000 naira.
Well, like you said, it's not easy, it's not an easy process to do that, because we need to like change the mindset, the orientation of we youth that there is way beyond 5,000 naira we get during election days. Okay.
How instrumental is education to governance, or let me say to politics now? This is what I'm asking. A lot of persons feel like, the curriculum in our schools, universities, polytechnics, does not really prepare you for leadership roles. So where do you stand in the argument?
I think that's why we need to like do more capacity building. We need to like maybe reform the curriculum or introduce some leadership skills for capacity building in our various schools and even our homes. Because a good leader starts from home. If you want to be a good leader, you need to be well disciplined and well trained from home, even before going to school.
what about people, I mean, apologies, but I mean, I think it's a valid example. What about people who didn't have access to, I mean, a good home training, maybe because their parents were not alive at that point in time? How can they, you know, close that lacuna in the future?
I think the school is in best position to do that by having some courses on leadership training, capacity building.
All right, still talking about, you know, building the leaders that we need in Nigeria. We need to take a short break, Honorable, and when we come back, we still have, you know, quite a number of things to talk about. But it's still Politics Explained on Dominion Television Ibadan. We take a short break now. When we come back, we ask more questions. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Cast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. I still have with me in the studio Right Honorable Marvelous Oyekola, Speaker, Third Assembly of your State Youth Parliament. Now, let's talk about this. I want to believe that, you know, the Youth Parliament has had challenges with continuity in the past. Do you agree with that? So what measures have been put in place to ensure that this assembly will enjoy stability?
Oh, like I said, the Your State Parliament Third Assembly is a non-partisan. Yeah, because like during the screening, we have a representative from other political parties too, aside from the fact that we have a running party in Oyo State. We have representatives from other political parties too, to make sure that it's not biased and based on the political interest. So we have people from different political parties, the likes of
As members?
We are here for a common goal, the youth in Oyo State. Yeah.
Has there been any issue concerning that? Because I mean, when you have people from other political parties, I know you're trying to mirror the exact, or let me say, the real state assembly itself. Has there been any issues surrounding that?
Well, no, because we are all youth, and we believe in the betterment of the youth in Oyo State.
How independent is the third assembly?
Well,
in terms of operations, in terms of decision making?
Okay. Thank you. The Oyo State Youth Parliament falls under the Agency for Youth Development, led by the chairman of the agency, Prince Adebowale Falana. Well, we've been able to operate independently, freely, because like we said, we mirror after the Oyo State House of Assembly. So there hasn't been any limitation or any form of illness.
No political interference at all?
No.
Because when I went through what led to, I don't want to call it dissolution now, of the first assembly, I think the speaker alleged that political interference led to the reason, or is the reason why they could not sit for so many times and they could not do so much. Are you saying for this third assembly, no political interference whatsoever?
No political interference.
What if it happens later as you progress? How do you intend to undo it?
Well,
as a speaker?
I believe there is a law that establishes, there's a bill for us to inaugurate the third assembly, which we are going to run for a tenure of 2 years. So even if we have a change of system, we still operate as the third assembly, Oyo State Youth Parliament.
Our members selected. I'm talking about members of the third assembly. What is the criteria?
Okay.
Or the qualities, though?
When the call for applicants was put out there, we have, like I said, we have a lot of applicants, about 1,000 plus, which was scrutinized to like 182. So whereby we submit your qualifications, your certificate, local government of origin, and all necessary documents. So during the screening, the physical screening, you'll be asked certain questions just to ascertain your brilliancy on how you can run the government. And they will check, okay, do you have any criminal record? No. Your cerebral reason? Fine. Then you are good to go. So that was what bet the third assembly.
Okay, what about, I'm asking this because some persons are interested, I mean, if not for this particular assembly, maybe for future purposes. So, do you need a degree to actually be a member? You need a degree?
Yes.
What's the highest, or let me say, what's the minimum degree?
The minimum is a SSC, a secondary school certificate.
That you need to become a member?
You need to become a member.
What about other things? Aside from, you not having criminal records, are there other core qualities that you must have before you can actually apply?
Yes, you must have your certificate, be of a good behavior, have no criminal record, and be up doing what you are doing.
Is the process rigorous?
Very, 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 very.
Walk me through the process a little bit.
Very, very. Like I said, firstly you have to like submit an online application, like where you submit the online application. Then before, which was like around 2 weeks, whereby the screening, the online screening was carried out to scrutinize to 182. So after the 182, we are called for a physical screening, whereby we have the representatives of all security agencies to screen, to assess us on who and who are we going to select, because we are members selected, not elected, to be selected to be a member of the Oyo State Third Parliament.
So it's not an election, it's a
selection process.
So how do you select now?
We have a panel. We have the panelists there, so which comprise of the agency, the Agency for Youth Development. We have a representative of NDLEA, the police, DSS, civil defense. We have all sorts of security personnel there, just to assess us that, oh, these candidates selected are the best of the best.
So the third assembly, do you influence government policies?
Of course, we make during our sitting, we make resolutions, then pass to the House of Assembly to be turned into a bill.
Has there been any time where governments had to maybe change, the policy because of the intervention of the third assembly?
Well, like I said, we just had our second sitting a few weeks ago, which we made a resolution submitted to the House of Assembly. So, and the House of Assembly are currently on recess now. So when they resume, I believe it's going to be treated with urgency.
All right. Before you actually, I think the inauguration happened June 26, 2026. So you are
24th of June.
All right. So you're still new. Yes. However, are there things that you've been able to observe in this administration that you think should change? I want to believe that you have some things that you've been able to observe, the last few months, because, you've been preparing to become a speaker for a while now, that you feel you are going to discuss with your members, and maybe there can be a change, somehow.
Prior to my emergence as the speaker, because I was nominated by my fellow honorable members to be the speaker, and of which I must commend them for doing that, because they must have seen some leadership attributes in me before.
So you didn't think twice, you accepted the nomination?
Well, I believe for them to nominate me, they must have seen some qualifications, some attributes in me before they could do that. So, and the current administration has been a very good one regarding concern for the youth, because they believe the youth are not just leaders of tomorrow, but partners in today's government. So, which bet the youth parliament. to the assembly.
Okay, let's talk about the elections coming up, the general elections and your state election. On a scale of 1 to 100, how prepared are youth? Because, I mean, according to you, your state is a bit different from other states, in the country, because you feel like the governor has a way of, embracing the youth, putting them in position. So, on the scale of 1 to 100, do you think the youths are ready? Just give me a percentage now, 1 to 100.
I would say it's 65.
Really?
65.
65.
65.
But we see, I don't want to give figures now because it's risky. But we have a lot of young people who are yet to get their PVCs.
Well, I want to believe even the ministry in charge of the PVC, the agency, will testify to it that we have more youth registered this time around than ever before.
Okay, what about the people who get a PVC for the sake of one registration or another? So they are not really interested in the election. They just want to get the PVC because, I mean, they might need it in the bank or maybe for NYSC or something.
No. We have a change narrative now because the youth, we want a change. Yes. And we are prepared. We are prepared for the change.
Are you sure the youth are prepared for
the youth? The
change?
youth are prepared for the change. Yes.
All right, still talking about this discussion, I want to believe that you have goals for this administration. And then after your tenure, you said 2 years, right? After
Yes.
your tenure, there are certain things that you want to point to and say, I'm glad we're able to achieve this for the third assembly. Can you give us a list of those things that you want to achieve?
Well, at the end of our tenure, our administration, we want to have a peaceful Oyo State whereby the youth are drug-free.
Are you saying Oyo State is not peaceful right now?
It's peaceful. It's very, very peaceful.
Oh.
So we want to have a Oyo State with youth with drug-free, all sorts of social crises out, and the youth are being able to communicate freely with the government because they know, okay, our voice is going to be heard by the government.
Look, speaking about drug issues now, I think there was even a time a particular institution, said they are going to rusticate any student that is found with drugs and all of those things. So, are there measures or are there systems in place, in the institutions that we have in Oyo State? Because we have the University of Ibadan, the Polytechnic of Ibadan, we have, College of Nursing, and maybe others in Oyo State now. So, are there systems in place that will ensure that, drug is not allowed, whether on campus or once you are a student of the school, you're not supposed to be caught, doing things like that? Are there systems in place?
Definitely, there are systems.
Give me examples.
We have the security personnel of each schools, and we also have the likes of NDLEA who roams around the school premises without even knowing their officers.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm very sure about that.
Have you seen them in operation before in any of the schools I mentioned?
Well, yes, undisclosed. They operate freely among the students without even knowing they are not students or officers of the NDLEA.
All right, you also mentioned something. You said you want to establish a system where the youth can actually speak to the government freely.
Yes.
Right. So, apart from the third assembly, is there a system in place where the youth, who are not even politicians, not members of the third assembly, where they can engage the government? Is the governor accessible? I think that's the right question.
Yeah. The Oyo State governor is a free man to the youth, yes, because he's always ready to listen to the voice and the concern of the youth of Oyo State.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. 100%.
So if people want to have a discussion with him now and they are not part of the assembly, I mean, just Nigerian youth who are gathered, he's going to give them audience.
Definitely, because the governor believes the youth are the future of Oyo State.
Because the reason why I'm saying this is because there are other persons who are not members of your assembly,
Yes.
not even the state assembly, and they have certain things that can actually push the state forward. And so if there's a chance for them to meet with the governor, or maybe the representative, you are saying that it's going to be allowed, the governor will give them an audience to do that.
The third assembly, we put a call out for volunteers who wish and who want to participate in governance with us. Whereby we are open to volunteers from anywhere.
Okay, so how can people get access to that in terms of, I mean, people might be listening to us and
Yeah, we have it on our platform. We have it on our platform. They can always reach out to us. We have our mails, And now even through our social media platform, they can always reach out to
Then
us.
give us the handle of your social media.
The Oyo State Youth Parliament.
And you respond to messages
Yes,
as quick as
yes,
possible.
yes.
All right. I think it's a fun place to leave this discussion. You're telling me that after your 2 years, as the speaker, there'll be improvement in terms of youth
Definitely.
participation
Definitely.
in this country.
Definitely.
Yeah, I might not be able to bring you back on this set, but I want to believe that there'll be a window, one way or the other, to reach you to say, okay, how
Definitely.
did you undo your members? I mean,
And I'll be glad to answer that. I'll be glad to answer that.
all right. I want to say big thanks to you, Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Marvelous Oyekola, the Speaker of the Third Assembly, your State Youth Parliament, for being a part of this discussion today.
Thank you
And
very
speaking of mobilization, are you mobilizing the youth for the elections?
Yes, yes, because we have to go back to our various state constituencies, engage with the youth, dialogue with them. That this is listen to what they want to say.
How do you gather them? Do you go to institutions or to the market? Or how do you gather them?
No, we go to our various constituencies
Okay,
because
okay.
I represent the good youth of Oyo East, Oyo West.
Oh.
Yeah, so I handle 2 local governments together. So I have a way, I have a platform whereby I engage the youth of my constituencies. Likewise, my fellow honorable members.
All right, thank you so much for being a part of the discussion. And for next year, for the International Youth Day 2027, are there plans in place already? I mean, for that, or is it too early to ask you that question?
Yeah, well, let me say it's too early and it's not too early.
Right, thank you once again for joining
Yeah,
us
you're
today.
welcome.
All right, we need to go this afternoon. The children of today are the leaders of tomorrow. The International Youth Day celebration should therefore be more than a moment of recognition. It should be a moment of reflection on the kind of leaders we are deliberately building for Nigeria's future. If the youth are indeed tomorrow's leaders, then the responsibility to prepare them begins today with opportunity, accountability, competence, and genuine participation in governance. I'm Oluwayemi Adelaku, and this has been Politics Explained. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you next time. Bye.